Hello, everyone. So it's been a while since I uploaded anything. Not sure when I'm gonna start uploading things again. Unfortunately, right now I'm moving and blah blah blah. But that's not why you're here. So I figured people wanted to hear my reaction about this, and I had at least one person on Twitter asking me about it. So here we go. At Sony's press conference on Monday, they showed a trailer for this game, and guy wakes up on the floor and there's a phone ring. It's all in first person, and my first thought was like, "Holy shit, is this PT? Are they bringing back PT?" I was like, "Oh," because we hadn't seen Kojima yet at this point, so I was like, "Oh wow!" And he's like making his way through, and like all these weird things start happening, and I was watching a live podcast, or video reaction to the press conference, and at the beginning of the trailer it says "before kitchen," and then I was like, "What the fuck is kitchen?" And the people I was watching were like, "Oh, it was a really scary VR thing that came out like I think it was a couple years ago actually, because I've heard like misconceptions about kitchen because no one's actually seen kitchen other than like online. Like it's all people that were invited to play it. There's no footage, at least from what I can find online, of kitchen. So I was like, what is this? But it was a scary VR game, and apparently it was made by Capcom. So people were talking, they're like, is this Resident Evil? And no one wanted to like get like and then you pick up the videotape in the trailer, and I was like, what is this? Why are they picking up a videotape? And they put it in. And then like all these images start going, and it's crazy, and scary things are happening, and it looks legitimately like a really creepy game. And then all of a sudden this song starts playing, and you see all these grotesque images, and then at the end you see a guy in a wheelchair, and I was like, wait a second, Spencer was in a wheelchair last time we saw him. And then it zooms out, and you see this house and a car and someone's foot step down, and all of a sudden the Roman numerals for 7 pop up, and I was just like, oh my god. And then Resident Evil, and I was like, what? Does not look like a typical Resident Evil game at all, but it looks scary as shit. On top of that, there is a demo now available on PlayStation 4 for PlayStation Plus members. I downloaded the demo. It's pretty creepy. Once you played through it a few times, it's not really creepy anymore because it's really short, and people are digging deep, like with PT, trying to figure out all the hints and secrets. But the thing I like about it more than PT so far is that PT almost felt more just like a walking simulator where you had to like look at things and you couldn't really interact with the environment at all. It's just like, here's a scary thing, and you gotta go through this door again. Oh, the things kind of changed. And where this, it's like you can actually, like, you pick up the videotape, you pick up a key, you get an axe at one point, so you actually see that there is going to be combat in this game. So, initially, my first thoughts were yes, 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 because though PT looked scary as shit to me, and I still haven't played it because I'm scared of it, I am excited to see something new coming out of that direction because we're not getting Silent Hills. Silent Hills is canceled. So the fact that we have this game that took at least some ideas from PT and is putting that into a series that I love, a series that has been on the decline for the last number of releases, is really exciting. And at this point, I'm still there. The only thing about the demo is, like I said, it's not that creepy. When you're like there's like 2 different parts you can go into, where you're like in the past, and when you're in the past, you're like, you have a video camera and you can spot ghosts. And I guess that's supposed to be the creepy part. And the ghost thing kind of scares me. I don't like ghosts. I don't like like the game Fear that came out a number of years ago. That was like an action shooter mixed with a scary game. Like, I didn't like the little girl ghost in that. Like that, she scared the crap out of me, and that's kind of what this ghost looks like. But I'm also not too upset if it's not as creepy as it seems, and I'm not gonna play it in VR, so I'm not worried about that. But you know, like in Fear, there's this scene where you like walk, like you know when the little girl's coming. That's the only thing that's like kind of not scary. But I just always remember there's this scene where like you like all this scary shit's going down, and then you go into an office and she's like crawling at you like a monkey, and I was like, what the hell? And then it just like she disappears, and that freaked me out. Anyway, back to Resident Evil. People online are losing their shit about this game, and not in a good way. I've seen a lot of good things. I've seen a lot of pillars in the community that play like extreme Resident Evil quite often are actually really excited about it. But the people in the chats are saying things like, oh, it's so different, it's just a PT ripoff, blah blah blah, and like, why couldn't they go back to the old style of gameplay, and why do they have to change it? Yeah. First of all, Resident Evil has not been working. It hasn't. We all know this. 6 was a colossal failure. I still haven't finished 6. Every time I try to play it, I'm like, I remember why I stopped playing this. I've beaten Leon's campaign, and I beat Chris's campaign. I freaking hated Chris's campaign. I got partway through Jake's, and then I got to like this stealth area where that stupid monster's walking around. I was like, this is dumb. I heard Ada's campaign was extensively hard for no reason, and I was just like, no, that's okay, not for me. So to see a series that I love, that I felt was like going in a completely wrong direction, try and reinvent itself in this really cool looking way, go for it. Does it kind of look like PT? Yeah. And I believe they started the trailer off with a scene that PT starts with you laying on the floor and waking up, and then the ending is you answering a phone, and that is how the trailer started. So I think that they did that on purpose, and I think it's brilliant. So I am excited for that. I think it's a good thing that they're trying something new. And then people are also complaining, and it's like, well, why couldn't they go back to like the old way of how it looked, fixed camera angles and everything? While I love Remake, and it's one of, if not my favorite game of all time, they stopped that style because they felt like it was getting stale. They did it for 4 games, including Veronica, or Code Veronica, which even then it's different in Code Veronica, but the style is very similar. But they wanted to change it and reinvent the series, and that's where it went into Resident Evil 4. Now, would I love it if this game had a mode where you could play that way? Yes, because I definitely like that style better. I'm not a first-person type of game person, but I'm excited to see something new. And a lot of horror games recently have been doing this first-person perspective. And Resident Evil, while wanting to reinvent itself and wanting to make a really creepy game, them using the tropes that are working recently, I don't see a problem with. So let's try it. Let's see if it works. Silent Hill was going to do the same thing, and it got canceled. So let's try. And even like they talked to directors about that, comparing it to like an Outlast and I can't think of the other game, Amnesia, being first person games, and they're like, yeah, but it kind of, but it still lacked something. They didn't like that in those games you couldn't defend yourself. And that was kind of my big thing in those games as well, is it's like, it's all hide and go seek, and I like the idea of this, that, yeah, there's gonna be creepy shit going down, but you can fight back. And so I'm excited about that. And on top of that, we are getting Resident Evil 2 remade still. So you want the original style of Resident Evil? That's coming back too. So why not take this series that has been in a slump, in a decline, going a bad way, into a new direction and try something new and see if it works? We have Resident Evil 2 coming out as well. This is amazing. This is a great time to be a Resident Evil fan. Umbrella Corps is coming out this month, and I don't give a shit about that game, which again I felt was just another. When I saw that game get announced, I was just like, this is the problem with this series, is that it's going in this direction, this action direction that I don't like, and that's what I hated about 6. I'm staying with my parents right now, and they're like in the bathroom, which is right by my room, messing with stuff. My dog was barking, but anyway. Yeah, so Umbrella Corps is coming out, and to me that just signifies, again, like, everything wrong with the series. Operation Raccoon City looked like a really cool game, and then it was, again, just same bullshit. 6 was bad. And then recently, with the release of Revelations 2, I never finished 1, I still haven't finished 2, but 1 I started playing, and you can see it on my channel, like, I just got frustrated, like, Jessica was so annoying, like, constantly talking to Chris, like, do you like me? Am I a better partner than Jill? And it's like, and especially knowing this is before 5, and everything that Chris goes through in 5 to save Jill. You got this little girl, like, oh, what was your other partner like? And it's like, just shut up. Oh my god. And it totally took me out of the game. I got lost in the boat, and the enemies were ugly. I didn't care. So when Revelations 2 came out, and I liked the partner aspect, I thought they did it really well in Revelations 2, where you could flip between the two people mid-game. Like, if you wanted to play completely as Moira, you could. Or if you wanted to play just as Claire, you could. Or, like, you might have to do, like, some things, like, in certain areas. But I thought that was really cool. So it's not like in 6 or 5 where if you pick Chris, you're Chris the whole time, or if you pick Helena, you're Helena the whole time. You could switch between the two, and I loved that about Revelations. I thought it was really cool and a different aspect of it. I liked that the enemies were more zombie-esque. I liked the monster designs. I liked that there were multiple endings. I thought that was really cool. And the fact that this game that's coming out now, Resident Evil 7, actually takes place after 6, which takes place after Revelations 2, kind of gets me excited, because it's like, if you've seen the end of Revelations 2, there's this girl. I don't really want, I guess it's been out a year. Anyway, there's a little girl in Revelations, and something happens to her at the end, if you get the true ending of the game. And I can totally see where that would lead into Resident Evil 7. So I'm excited about that. But I just feel like Capcom is making really smart decisions recently with, like I said, Revelations 2 almost felt like a spin-off of Resident Evil 4. Like, it felt more like Resident Evil 4 than 5 did. And I loved that. Loved it. The re-release, of the HD remaster of Remake, the HD remaster of Zero, which I still haven't finished. But it's like they know what people want. Like, adding the Wesker mode to Resident Evil 0 is the only reason I bought the game. I was like, fuck that game. I hate that game. They had Wesker do it. You can play as Wesker, and you can just instantly kill everything. Damn it, now I gotta get this game. So, yeah, I'm really happy with the direction Capcom's going in right now. I think it's a good choice. I'm excited, super excited about Resident Evil 7. everything that we've heard coming out of the conference from people talking to the developers, they're saying that there are going to be herbs. You're going to be able to fight. There are going to be a lot of puzzles. They just really wanted to get back into horror, and I have no problem with that. When Resident Evil originally came out, people were so scared. It was just so funny. I didn't get into Resident Evil until after 4. I didn't play 4 when it... Well, I guess I did play 4 when it, like, right around when it first came out. And 4 was spooky. But then to go back and play, like, the original Resident Evil, not remake, but the original Resident Evil, and have people be like, oh my god, the game is so scary. It's like, with this dumbass dialogue and these little colorful hallways and zombies like, ooh. It's not scary. It's just not scary. But anyway, when it first came out, it was really scary. And I think Remake is actually a really scary game if you don't know what's going to happen. I played Remake so many times that I'm not scared by it anymore. But, and like Haunting Ground, I love Haunting Ground. That's a scary game. And Silent Hill is dead. Like, it is. So the fact that Resident Evil is kind of saying, you know what, we know that our fans love Silent Hill as well, and that they got screwed over with Konami. That's what I feel like is the Capcom's like, you know what, Konami's not gonna do it. Screw them. You want a scary game? You want a scary ass game? Yeah, it's not directed by Kojima. Yeah, it's not co-directed by Del Toro. Yeah, Norman Reedus isn't in it, but you know what? It's Resident Evil, and there's gonna be herbs. You're gonna have to manage your inventory, and you're gonna have to solve puzzles, and there's gonna be spooky shit, and you're gonna be able to fight things with axes, and you'll probably get guns, and it's like, I'm sure, knowing Resident Evil, there will be like items you can unlock, and you can probably get a rocket launcher eventually, and it's like, that is so exciting to me. This is what I've wanted from Resident Evil. It's new, it's exciting. The demo's really cool. People are still trying to figure everything out in it. And if you haven't seen it yet, go watch footage from it. It's pretty creepy. And yeah, I'm just babbling on about this because I am really excited. So I'm sorry this went on for forever. But anyway, so you can expect. And also, this comes out in January. And just a side note, there's like a film thing at the beginning, and there's a serial code on it, and the serial code on the beginning of the film reel is actually for the Resident Evil director's cut that originally came out with a demo for Resident Evil 2. So people are wondering, when 7 comes out now, is it going to have a demo for Resident Evil 2 Remake? How is this not exciting? How are you not freaking out about this? This is awesome. I'm so excited. Like, Carcinogen, who I follow, and he speedruns Resident Evil constantly, he said, like, this is the first time I've genuinely been excited in a Resident Evil game in a long time, other than, like, the re-releases, and, like, yeah. Yes. Completely agree. Revelations was cool, but this is awesome. Anyway, I'll stop babbling now. Let me know what you guys think. I'm sure there's lots of different opinions circulating around. Let's debate them. Let's talk about them. Keep it friendly, of course. If you're not friendly, you'll just get your comment removed. So, whatever. Yeah, and I've had reasons as to why I haven't been recording recently. Just to wrap this up at the end, my computer did not want to record any footage. I started trying to record Silmaria again, Valkyrie Profile, and the footage looked like shit. I had to turn everything like way down, and it just hasn't been working. So that's been a problem. Again, like I said, I moved back in with my parents for a bit, so that's not why I used to record stuff here all the time. So that's not a big deal. But everything's packed away, but I am going to be getting a new computer here in the next few weeks, probably. So after that, I will be able to start recording again, hopefully. So we'll see what comes from that. See if I can show you guys any of the demo. Or I've been playing Uncharted a lot recently. I beat 4 and it was amazing. And now I'm going back and beating 1, and 1 is taking me forever to get through because, good God, you definitely see where Uncharted 4 corrected things that were wrong with 1. So that's all, guys, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Bye.